Let's talk about the ketogenic diet, one of the most misunderstood and feared diets in the world. Let's not forget that the low-carb keto diet was created by doctors and scientists with a purpose to treat diseases around 100 years ago. And despite great success, over the past few decades, ketogenic and low-carb diets have been heavily criticized and discouraged by government guidelines, mainstream media, and industries built around processed foods and pharmaceutical treatments. When things like this happen, we must ask ourselves, why? The mainstream recommendations are not really aligned with what I see in keto research studies. If it's all about protecting public health, why aren't ultra-processed foods, sugar, alcohol, or cigarettes attacked with the same urgency? Just remember the times when doctors promoted cigarettes as healthy. You're allowed to ask questions instead of blindly following mainstream health guidance. So instead of focusing on real health threats, dietary fat from natural whole food sources like red meat, eggs, butter, and cheese has been demonized since the 1950s, all based on a flawed hypothesis that says saturated fat raises your LDL cholesterol, meaning it will increase your cardiovascular disease risk, which has never been proven. Now we have enough studies proving it was all false, but the narrative hasn't changed. So let's take a closer look. A clean keto diet removes junk food, stabilizes blood sugars, lowers insulin and triglycerides, raises HDL cholesterol, supports weight loss, and can reverse many metabolic diseases. When people regain their health, they rely less on processed foods and lifelong medications. They feel better, think more clearly, and often live longer. And that disrupts entire industries. Let's keep that in mind. If you're thinking about starting a low-carb keto diet in 2026, I'll have all your questions answered in today's video. I'll discuss the benefits and common concerns, and show you how clean keto impacts everything from insulin resistance and weight loss to cardiovascular health and longevity. I'm Greta, a low-carb keto nutritionist and holistic health coach, and I've been following a low-carb, high-fat ketogenic lifestyle for over 10 years. Obviously going in and out of ketosis, which is absolutely normal. But overall, low-carb keto diet is my main way of eating. And in case you're curious, my blood work looks excellent. I know so many people teach keto the wrong way and make you worried for no reason. Plus, you see these negative headlines all the time. Well, someone really hates keto. So let's clear all of the confusion. But why would anyone want to follow a low-carb keto diet in the first place? Isn't it bad? Or maybe it's not trendy anymore. Well, because it's the most effective way to reverse insulin resistance, as you keep your glucose and insulin low. This study illustrates it so well. From 3 diet groups, the very low-carb keto diet, high in saturated fat, marked in green, was the most effective for reducing insulin and insulin resistance. Very low-fat, low-saturated fat, high-carb diet, marked in orange, was the worst, because carbs spike glucose and insulin the most. High-fat foods have the smallest effect on glucose and insulin. It's also the most effective way to lose excess weight, especially belly fat, without even noticing you're putting effort. On keto, your attention shifts towards better food quality, more satiety, less glucose fluctuations, and less insulin, your fat storage hormone, rather than aggressively cutting calories. Did you know you're actually burning more calories on keto? You have a faster metabolism, which is great. For my master's dissertation, I did a systematic review on keto versus low-fat diet for weight loss. There's an enormous amount of studies showing that low-carb keto is the best diet for weight loss. It's way more complex than just calories in versus calories out. No one talks about calories lost as heat, or different metabolic and hormonal effects of foods, or how certain foods cause energy fluctuations and cravings, while others fill you up and give you stable energy. And that's not all. Benefits of keto go way beyond weight loss. I remember checking this study where just after 4 days of keto, people were reversing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That's amazing. Anyone with insulin resistance, which is most people, will have some fat in their livers. It's also great for anyone with high blood pressure, inflammation, and blood glucose issues. Keto is the only diet that helps put type 2 diabetes into remission, which was believed to be impossible. Thankfully, we now have studies confirming it. Probably most people are still being told that they should eat whatever they want and take medication forever. So a lot of great things happen when you reduce your carbs and increase your dietary fat. And it's not only the added sugar that you should watch out for. Carbs like bread, pasta, and rice break down into glucose, which is sugar. High blood glucose, which is a result of high-carb meals, results in high insulin. Insulin has to take that glucose and put it into storage in the form of glycogen and fat. But insulin is not any more innocent. Elevated insulin over and over again results in insulin resistance, when the body can no longer deal with the high-carb overload. That's what's at the core of the metabolic syndrome: chronically elevated insulin and insulin resistance. A lot of diseases are actually symptoms of high insulin. Think of things like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, or obesity. That's why reducing carbs does wonders to all of these conditions. Here's just a quick view from the study. All diseases that have a component of high insulin, the list is long. And if you think, but my glucose is normal, I don't have an issue with my glucose. Well, if you eat carbs, you do. Those who exercise a lot and have big muscles might get away, at least for now, with the damaging effects of high glucose and insulin, as they can store more of it in their muscles. But let's be real, glucose is still damaging and causing inflammation. It causes glycation, sticking, and irreversibly damaging protein, fat, and even DNA. And this has long-term health-damaging effects. Knowing that only 1% of the human body is made of carbs, is it the best energy source? Well, not really. Not efficient, not clean, and there's no good way to store it. You can store fat efficiently, but for glucose, our bodies are just not equipped to store so much of it. Plus, broken glucose metabolism is involved in most chronic health conditions, clearly indicating that we're not meant to eat this many carbs. Anyways, many people get checked and they have normal glucose. Their fasting glucose is normal, and their HbA1c, their average glucose over the 2 to 3 months, is normal. However, you don't really know what is your glucose after each meal. Did you eat a donut or some pasta? Trust me, you don't want to see your glucose. I did a CGM continuous glucose experiment on my YouTube channel. You can check how various foods affected my glucose. And I'm a healthy non-diabetic. And I lift weights and walk regularly. You can actually go into diabetic states after each high-carb meal. Another important thing to mention, if your glucose looks normal after high-carb foods, which happens, it still only shows half of the picture, as no one ever tests your insulin. Insulin is responsible for keeping your glucose in check. And guess what? High insulin is even more damaging than high glucose. Some of you might be worried about feeling weak because of going keto. But what happens to your energy levels when you go keto? No carbs, no glucose. Well, for a few hours or a day, you might feel odd, have a small headache, and feel tired while you transition from glucose to ketones. At this stage, your body is getting ready and building new machinery. But after, you're an entirely new person. You're on the most efficient and cleanest fuel. And glucose, your body can make all it needs from protein and fat without you eating any carbs at all. Our bodies function a lot better this way. I'm not saying that everyone has to do keto forever or that it's the perfect diet for everyone, but knowing that there are other fuel options, not only glucose, we can run on ketones. It's really beneficial for everyone. You never know when you'll need it. Just having that steady, clear energy throughout the day, without crashes or cravings, or mood swings you get from carbs, makes it worth it. But it doesn't stop there. Keto is also the most effective therapeutic diet for epilepsy, polycystic ovary syndrome, certain cancers, Alzheimer's disease, and even cardiovascular disease. Honestly, I can't understand why more people wouldn't be interested in it. Oh, but it's high in saturated fat. It must be unhealthy. At this point, we have enough research studies to prove it's safe and can even improve your cardiovascular disease markers. Because let's be real, high LDL causing heart disease has never been proven. Check out Ansel Keys' study. In the context of a healthy, balanced diet without excess sugar and ultra-processed foods that damage your LDL cholesterol, it has no link to cardiovascular disease. Several huge studies proved that saturated fat, cholesterol, and LDL don't cause cardiovascular disease. If you want to prevent heart disease, shift your attention to avoiding sugar, refined vegetable oils, and other ultra-processed foods. Many people get freaked out when they go on keto and their LDL cholesterol goes up. Check your glucose, your insulin and blood pressure, your triglycerides, and your HDL cholesterol. Some people lose a lot of weight with keto and feel amazing, but then their doctor tells them that they will get a heart attack because their LDL cholesterol is elevated. They'll put you on statins. Please, someone show me a good quality study showing how statins successfully prevent people from dying. We have data showing that people with high LDL cholesterol live longer. Clean keto lowers your blood glucose, reduces insulin levels, and brings down inflammation. It improves your cholesterol profile, decreasing triglycerides, increasing HDL, and shifting LDL towards large, fluffy, harmless particles. Overall, it makes you a lot healthier and reduces your cardiovascular disease risk. That's not hype. It's well documented in the research. Why more people are not talking about it? Why this knowledge isn't mainstream? Think about it. If you can't patent something, if you can't profit from it, if it makes someone lose huge profits, they'll do anything to stop it. And we also need to look at who funds most research studies. A significant proportion comes from the food and pharmaceutical industries, which tend to support research aligned with their business interests. No one profits from keto. It's free. There's not much interest in it. Keto diet isn't some fad diet. It's the most natural human diet. This is how our ancestors ate, switching between ketones and glucose, being metabolically flexible. No processed grains, no sugary snacks, no seed oils, just real foods. Meat, fish, eggs, plant foods like vegetables, nuts, and berries. When we return to this natural way of eating, most modern diseases go away. We've been convinced that glucose is our primary or the preferred fuel source, but that couldn't be further from the truth. We're told to fear ketones. Many dietitians even intentionally use words ketosis and ketoacidosis together to make it sound like some dangerous state. In nutritional ketosis, you have a small safe concentration of ketones and ideal glucose levels. Ketoacidosis is an emergency state in type 1 diabetics, where you get extremely high ketones and glucose at the same time. It can't really happen when you reduce carbs and follow a low-carb, high-fat ketogenic diet. When we compare ketones to glucose as a fuel, ketones are a cleaner metabolic fuel. They produce more ATP, which is your energy, per molecule, and generate fewer free radicals, meaning less oxidative stress and slower aging. Our mitochondria love ketones. Ketosis has even been shown to activate longevity pathways like AMPK and sirtuins. You lower chronic mTOR signaling, which is so important for longevity. It promotes autophagy or self-renewal. It's a fasting mimicking diet. This isn't just about weight loss or quick fixes. It's about feeling better, living longer, and healthier. And yet, when people hear the word keto, they still imagine a plate full of bacon, butter, zero vegetables, and some diet sodas. That's the distorted version pushed by the media and people in the keto community who do it as a quick weight loss hack without thinking about long-term health consequences. Well, there's a better way to do it, focusing on natural whole foods. And soon I will share a video explaining how to start a keto diet correctly. The truth is, keto threatens the processed food and pharmaceutical industries. When you're metabolically healthy, you don't need snacks, junk food, or lifelong medications. That's why keto has been ridiculed, censored, and misrepresented for years. I want you to think for yourself. I leave my reference list in the description of this video in case you want to check it out. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.